Hi. Wonderhussy here on the world famous Las Vegas Strip. That's right, I live in Vegas. I don't really come down here very often anymore since I don't work down here anymore. But here it is, a week before Christmas, 2020, middle of the coronavirus pandemic. And well, I just thought it might be interesting to take a walk on the Strip and see just how deserted it is. I know tourism in Vegas is way down because of the dang virus, and I'm curious to see for myself just how deserted it really is. Now, I also need some exercise, so what I decided to do was walk the length of the entire Vegas Strip, starting here at the Tropicana, which is on the south end of the Strip, and I'm gonna walk all the way up to the Sahara Hotel, which is basically the north end of the Strip. It's a total distance of 3.5 miles each way, so I'll be walking 7 miles, should burn a few calories, and well, should see some pretty interesting sights along the way. Now, I parked here at the Tropicana for a couple of different reasons. First of all, they have free parking with a big open lot, so I don't have to worry about squeezing into a parking garage because my rig is lifted and I have those big tires on it. I can barely fit into some of these parking garages. And about the free part, I'm not sure, but a lot of hotels used to charge to park. I wouldn't think they were doing so right now because there's hardly anyone in town, but you never know. Technically, I could have gone all the way down to Mandalay Bay and walked from there, but you know, we're really not going to miss much. I mean, Mandalay Bay is kind of a bummer anyways after what happened there with that dang shooting. So we're going to start our walk right here at the fabulous Tropicana, which honestly looks pretty depressing and pretty dead. I mean, you can see there's hardly any traffic in the valet area, which to be fair is actually pretty typical for this time of year, right before Christmas. Typically one of the slowest times of year for Vegas. If you've ever been to Vegas in December, you know what I'm talking about. It's dead. Now there is usually a big rodeo here the first couple weeks of December, which makes up, or normally makes up, for some of the slowdown, but they even canceled the rodeo this year. It's like 150,000 people usually come to town for this rodeo, National Finals Rodeo. They canceled it. I think they had it in Texas instead. So anyway, this being the week before Christmas, today's December 15th, I guess technically a week and a half before Christmas, it's usually pretty dead here, virus or no. But I don't think I've ever seen it quite this dead. Okay, I'm crossing over from the Tropicana to the MGM on one of those pedestrian bridges overlooking this intersection, which is normally totally clogged with traffic. And it's, well, pretty grim. I mean, you can see there's really no tourists walking around. There's that one couple ahead of me, and then there's me talking to myself and you guys. But yeah, man, it's pretty empty here. I should note that it's about 12:45. I'm anticipating it'll take me a couple hours to get to the Sahara and then a couple hours back, so I should have just enough daylight to finish this walk. And here's what we're looking at. We're walking by the MGM Grand, that big gold lion in front of it, and not too many people on the sidewalk. Although it looks like there's some college graduates celebrating there. That's kind of cool. I can't imagine what it would be like to graduate right now. It'd be so weird, like no parties, no celebration, no ceremony. Ugh, depressing. Ugh, speaking of depressing, somebody told me they were down here recently and there's more buskers than tourists. Buskers are those people who stand around in costumes and they'll pose for a picture with you in exchange for a tip. Apparently they're still out here trying to make a buck, and gosh, it's got to be a rough way to make a living right now. I mean, it's actually tough times for just about everybody in Vegas right now. Everyone from the card dealers to the cocktail waitresses, to the bartenders, to the people who work in the restaurants, the valet parkers, people who work at the airport. I mean, it's slow everywhere, and I know there's thousands of people out of work. It's nuts. It's actually more tourists here than I would have expected. Oh, I should note too that I did bring a mask. I'm not wearing it because I don't want to smudge my lipstick. But if I go inside a business, obviously I'm going to need it. And I'm planning on just keeping 6 feet distance from everyone and not breathing in any aerosol droplets. Although, now that I think about it, there's so many people out here. Maybe I should wear this. Ugh. Sorry. Did my lipstick for nothing. Oh wow, look, a dispensary. I didn't even know there was one on the strip. Zut à l'heure. It's even deserted here in Paris. Okay, this is the famous Four Corners intersection of the strip, like the center of it all. And well, there's a little bit of traffic at the light, but not much. Look at this poor homeless guy passed out. Man, that's another group that's been really hard hit by this pandemic is strippers and escorts, you know, prostitutes. I mean, I guess they're still operating under the radar, but yikes. Well, it feels like I'm in Chernobyl. That must be the doomsday alarm. Man, I thought I was rough in Reno. I was up in Reno this past August, September, and I made a video up there. And there was a lot of homeless people passed out on the street. And I was kind of bagging on Reno. Looks like I have nothing to bag about. It looks like someone had a little bit too much fun. You know, I think a lot of these hotels actually close down altogether, like Monday through Thursday, and they're only open for the weekends. So that's why, like this one here, the Encore, which is pretty swanky, looked like it was totally closed off. I guess they had a problem here. Well, there's been a lot of problems on the strip with violence lately. Guess I might as well take this off again. No one's around. Yeah, because they're hurting so bad for business, they lowered room rates really low. And so I guess it was the low room rates were attracting an unsavory element from LA. So there was all these wild videos on YouTube of people brawling in the casinos, and then I guess kids were renting those electric scooters and like just blazing up and down the sidewalks, bashing people with baseball bats. I'm not making this up. It's all on YouTube. I mean, Vegas is getting, well, it was getting kind of scary for a minute. I think that's why a lot of these hotels started closing down midweek. Oh wow, look, it's that new hotel, Resorts World. I think it has like one of the biggest LED screens in the world or something on the face of it. Look at that thing. It's interesting because I was driving back into town the other day from Arizona, and when I came over the hill and caught the first glimpse of the Vegas Strip, you could see that friggin' LED screen practically all the way from Arizona. This is where the Stardust used to be. I was pretty salty, to be honest, when they blew up the Stardust, because that was my favorite neon sign, all those sparkling stars. I loved driving past that thing. And the Stardust was a cool hotel. It had a lot of history. But, well, you know how they do here. They just blow it up and build something new. And gosh, that was back in like 2007, I think they blew the Stardust up. Now it's 2020. That means it's taken 13 years for them to finally get this thing together. Well, because we all know what happened after they blew it up. There was that whole financial crisis in 2008. And, oh, well, it's been rough. And now guess what? Times are rough again. Well, this is kind of in the grand tradition of Nevada towns, this is a boom and bust town. Just like all those mining ghost towns I go to, you know, like people go into town, they dig all the gold out, and then when the gold vein is tapped out, everybody leaves. Well, it's kind of the same thing here if you think about it. You know, nobody would stay here if the money dried up, or very few people would.
Your fortune is mine for the telling.
Wow, it's interesting though. They're still proceeding with construction apace, like nothing's going on. I mean, to be fair, by the time they're done building this, the friggin' vaccine will be widely available and the pandemic will probably be over. So I guess they're making good use of their time. Hey, look at these guys. I think they're installing another LED screen on the side of the building. Look at those dudes, or I'm assuming it's dudes, might be dudes and gals, on those like window washer things. Let me zoom in. Wow, that'd be really interesting, whatever they're doing. Okay, well, we're getting kind of close to the Sahara, and I'm getting hungry. I've already walked about 3 miles. Okay, here's one of my all-time favorite places to eat on the entire strip, the Peppermill. If you've never been in there, it's kind of like a old school diner. You know, like classic diner food. The only thing is it's like ginormous portions. And well, I don't feel like eating that much right now. Okay, wow, now we're coming up on the site where the Riviera Hotel used to be, till they blew it up about a year ago in order to expand the convention center. And might I say, their timing was impeccable. They got it ready just in time for the pandemic. And well, guess what? All the conventions have been canceled too. Then up there is the old abandoned Fontainebleau Hotel. They started building that back in the recession, back in 2008, and they ran out of money. And it's just been sitting there empty for 12 years. I think at one point the steel that it was built out of was worth more than the real estate itself, so they were gonna scrap it, but well, obviously they didn't. I guess somebody bought it and is hanging on to it to open it up when things return to normal. By the way, I know my hair looks kind of weird. Well, I had it up like that because I had a knit cap on, you know, to stay warm. I thought it was gonna be really cold out here. But in fact, it's sunny, it's in the 50s, and I'm actually too hot. So I was gonna kind of, you know, put my hood up, do like a little Red Riding Hood kind of thing, but golly, it's too hot for even that. In fact, it's even too hot. I was gonna treat myself to a Starbucks eggnog latte, one of my favorite holiday treats. And then I was gonna go to one of these little liquor stores and buy a mini of something, put in it, get a buzz while I'm walking around. It's too hot for even that. Wow, it's so nice and quiet. Hard to believe I'm walking down the world famous Las Vegas Strip. It's like that video game Fallout Vegas, you know? Vegas after the apocalypse. Okay, we're coming up on the Sahara Hotel, which is our turnaround point. Man, look at all this litter. It's disgusting. All this stuff ends up in the Las Vegas wash, which now that I think about it, I should make a video about because, well, just like any wash in the desert, Las Vegas is built on, well, a series of washes, but there's one main wash that runs through the city and carries all the water drainage down. Well, it's supposed to go down to Lake Mead, but they have to catch it and filter it first because there's such an ungodly amount of disgustingness in it. Oh, yum, Starbucks. Well, I already passed the entrance to that hotel, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cross the strip here, and then we're gonna walk back south to the car on the other side and see what's going on over there. And hopefully there'll be, I know for a fact there's a bunch of Starbucks over there. But while we're waiting for the light, we're here at the intersection of Sahara and Vegas Boulevard. You might recognize the world's largest gift shop over there. And then just down there, there's an archway, a new archway across the street that marks the beginning of downtown Vegas. Oh wow, that's so trading places. Is that guy in the Santa Claus hat drinking on the corner there? Remember that movie Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd? Oh wow, I guess I probably shouldn't laugh because he probably has mental problems. Okay, anyway, we have successfully made it all the way to the north end of the strip. Let me see what time it is. It's 2:17. That means it took me about 2.5 hours to get down here. 2.5 back. I should get back to my car right as it's getting dark. So we'll get to see a little bit of the neon and LED lights. Nice. Man, speaking of these stripper things, you guys ever look at these? They're pretty funny. Oh, I love how they have it dressed up like a Nevada real estate guide on one side, but then it's really a stripper guide. That's funny. I guess it's like if you're at work, you can flip it around real quick, and then your boss won't know you're looking at porn. How do these hotels even afford to stay open? I mean, the electrical bills must be astronomical when you factor in all those billions of little, even if it's LED light bulbs, still adds up. And then not to mention all the slot machines are lit up and blinking and flashing and making noise, and they gotta run the heater, the air conditioner. Whew, I can't imagine they're earning enough in revenue right now to even break even. Well, on the plus side, it looks like they're taking advantage of the diminished traffic to do some much needed road work, which if you ask me is what they should be doing in the hotels too. You know, they should be taking advantage of the slow period to, you know, rip out all the carpeting or power wash the parking garages, you know, do all that maintenance stuff that they normally don't want to shut things down for. You know, better get ready, man, because let me tell you something. When this friggin' pandemic is over, I think Vegas is gonna blow up because everyone's gonna want to go blow off steam. You know, everyone's gonna be all pent up and want to go debauch. And well, this is America's favorite place to do just that. Hope them strippers are ready. Oh yay, we're coming up on Circus, my favorite hotel. It's the last place I went before the pandemic kicked in. My friends and I went to dinner. There used to be a really good steakhouse, believe it or not, in Circus, like one of the best steakhouses in Vegas. And my friend Scott and a couple other friends and I all went to dinner there. I made a video about it. It was called Steak and Loathing, or Fear and Loathing Steak in the Time of Coronavirus. I don't know. I included the word coronavirus in the title, so it got demonetized by YouTube. So you might not have seen it, but I'll put the link up here. Man, I love this friggin' hotel. Best aesthetic in Vegas, hands down. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's much going on there now. It's another one of my favorite cheapy little casinos. I don't even think this place is open, but like I was saying, the lights are still on inside. It's a trip. You know, like when you want to shut all them slot machines off and save the power? Oh man, it's just so creepy. Okay, now we're coming up on this giant mall. Maybe I can get a bite to eat. Wow, that guy must have a really big penis. Anyway, what I was trying to say is maybe I can go get a bite to eat here in the food court where I don't have to spend an arm and a leg. Okay, I ordered some Greek fries. Yum. I'm gonna take them outside though. I don't want to sit in here breathing all these people's germs. Yum, that was delicious. But now it's time to get back on the road, so to speak. Still gotta walk another 3 miles back to my car, and I still wanna get a drink. Okay, now this is really depressing. We finally got down here to the Treasure Island Hotel where they have that pirate show, or I guess I should say they used to have that pirate show up front. Fun fact, my friend Scott, who's been in a bunch of my videos, used to play the pirate captain here back in the day. But wow, I don't know if this hotel's closed right now or what, but look at that. They drained the whole lake that these pirate ships sit in. And it's cool because you can actually see it's on wheels. What a trip. I guess during the show it like comes out from back there or something. Like, kind of like a roller coaster. Man, even the margarita bar is closed. You know times are tough when the margarita bar is closed. Oh, here comes one of my favorite things on the entire strip. The Siegfried and Roy statue. Remember Siegfried and Roy? They had that show back in the day with the white tigers until one of the tigers bit Roy on the neck. That put the kibosh to that show. Okay, now we're coming up on the Mirage. This is where they have that volcano out front. I don't know if the volcano is still going on. Oh yeah, it says here on the sign, volcano show eruptions daily, but it doesn't start till 7. And look, it's funny, they have these little stickers showing you how far apart to stand when you watch the volcano show. But yeah, I think the volcano comes out of that big rock formation there. There's the Beatles looking down on us like the 4 archangels of the apocalypse. That's actually a good show though. Love, the Beatles Love. It's like a Cirque du Soleil artsy fartsy acrobats, but it's really well executed and pretty trippy. I may or may not have seen it in various states of altered consciousness, I'll just say that, and I highly recommend it. Wow, the things you see walking around the Vegas Strip at Christmas time. A sexy Santa Lucia. Okay, now we're coming up on my second favorite hotel of all time, Caesar's Palace. Actually, Caesar's Palace might be tied with Circus for my favorite hotel because I can't get enough of it. I worked at Caesar's for many years, love it. It's janky. It's weird, it's retro, it's awesome. And the best thing about it is there's asses everywhere. Actually, there's also plenty of other stuff. Whoopsie. But hey, look, there's supposed to be a fountain at the base of this thing and it's turned off, I'm not sure why. And there's an unspeakable collection of filth accumulated in the bottom where the water used to be, including, inexplicably, 2 toothbrushes. Man, I hate to know. Oh, there's another toothbrush. Why are there? Oh, there's a bunch of those really gross dental floss picks. I mean, this goes back to what I was saying about how shockingly disgusting Vegas is. Look at this gross accumulation of trash in the bottom of this Caesar's Palace fountain. Look, a bag from inside a box of wine. It smells really bad like piss. I'm pretty sure that's what that yellow stuff is on top of the wine bag. Ugh. Keep it classy, Caesar's. Okay, well, while I'm here, I can't walk past Caesar's Palace without visiting my favorite, well, probably my favorite thing on the entire Vegas Strip. I made a whole video about this thing one time. It's this crazy Buddhist Brahma shrine that some high roller donated to Caesar's Palace. Anyway, like I said, I made a whole video about it, and you can watch that if you want, but while I'm here, I feel like I can't go past without lighting a piece of incense. Unfortunately, there's no matches in here. Maybe there's some in the back. You know, one simply doesn't visit the Brahma shrine and not light a stick of incense. Oh man, there's no matches. Dang coronavirus! Man, I just wanted to light a stick of incense and say a little prayer that coronavirus would go away and things would return to normal soon. So, Brahma, hopefully you guys heard my plea. Let's make it happen. Incense or no incense. Man, none of these dang bars are open. I was gonna get a daiquiri here and it's closed. Dang it, I'm almost back at the Tropicana, back at my car, and I still haven't gotten a drink. I hate to do this whole thing sober. Now we're crossing back over the famous Four Corners intersection towards the Bellagio. How about that carpet? Oh, finally a Starbucks. Oh man, they're out of eggnog. 2020 is the worst year ever. I'll take my business elsewhere. OMG, what will they think of next? Not only can you go shoot a gun in short shorts if you want, but now you can shoot a machine gun from a helicopter. And with any luck, you'll look as stone cold badass like this guy. Wow, look at this place. The Crack Shack. That just sounds like an episode of The Chappelle Show. Man, I was gonna make a joke about, that's a big cock, but that guy was standing right there. Didn't want him to think I was talking about him. Wow, okay, well, we're back at Tropicana Avenue already. Time flies when you're having fun. But we can't head back to the Tropicana without paying our respects at the New York Statue of Liberty, which is wearing a mask. How about that? It says, Vegas safely. Isn't that an oxymoron? Anyway, it looks like the roller coaster's shut off because I haven't heard any screaming or seen any carts coming along that track. So we just got one more bridge to cross to the Excalibur and then one more bridge to the Tropicana and the car. Oh no. Man, I'm really earning them French fries. Look at that beautiful sunset. Holy moly. This is definitely my favorite time of day in Vegas. When it's kind of, I guess, dusk, twilight like this, and the sky is amazing, and all the lights start coming on. Man, and I didn't even get my drink. Okay, last bridge, and then we're gonna be back at the car. There's the part of the strip we didn't cover, but as you can see, we didn't miss much. Just the Mandalay Bay and the Luxor. Here's a view looking the other way. I mean, this should normally be jam-packed with cars, limos, taxis, drunk people walking around carrying them yard-long drinks. Of course. Okay, back to the empty old Tropicana. Here's one last pan of the beautiful but lonely and desolate Las Vegas Strip during Christmas 2020. Well, I hope you enjoyed this surreal and somewhat depressing tour of the Vegas Strip. Man, I never did get a drink. I never did get my eggnog latte. All I ate was those fries, and I just walked 7 miles. Bye, gum. I need some calories one way or another. That's right. It's Chipotle time. Bye-bye, Vegas. It's time for me to get some food and go home. Thank you.